Yesterday, the London Guardian accused Donald Trump of anti-Semitism because Trump named George Soros as a target of the U.S. Department of Justice. Just naming Soros, they said, quote, ticks all the boxes on the anti-Semitic scorecard. But here's all the president said about Soros back on September 25th. That's when he signed an executive order targeting domestic terrorists and their funders for investigation. Let's roll it, Adam.
Well, Soros is a name certainly that I keep hearing. I don't know, but Soros is a name that I hear. I hear a lot of different names. I hear names of some pretty rich people that are radical left people. Maybe I hear about a guy named Reid Hoffman. Somebody's a pretty rich guy, I guess, and I hear about him. I don't know. Maybe could be him, could be a lot of people. We hear the same names, but they're bad, and we're going to find out. And if they are funding these things, they're going to have some problems because they're agitators and they're anarchists. These are anarchists, really bad.
So why does the London Guardian have its knickers in such a knot? Why are they hysterically accusing Trump of anti-Semitism? Isn't the big lie about Trump now supposed to be that he is owned by Israel and Netanyahu? I'm Barbara Boyd, and I've been studying George Soros' work for British intelligence since 1992. That's when he started his drug legalization campaign here, along with other attacks aimed at destroying America's moral fabric. Today, I'm going to first summarize George Soros' career on behalf of the British Empire. I'll give you lots of references to where you can find out much, much more. Then I'm going to talk about the campaign by the ADL and others to accuse anyone investigating Soros of being anti-Semitic. I think by the end, you'll see why every time you hear about a Jewish conspiracy to control the world, you should think British Empire instead. But before I dig in, please like and share this video. It helps our reach with YouTube. Now, most Americans know Soros as the man who originally funded Barack Obama's run for the presidency. They also know he plays a huge role in funding the Democratic Party generally. They also know he's behind the election of radical DAs who absolutely refuse to prosecute real criminals. But that's just the surface story on this guy and his longtime partner in crime, Lord Mark Malloch Brown. The real headquarters is not New York City or the Cayman Islands. It's London. Soros was groomed for British economic warfare operations by Sir Karl Popper at the London School of Economics. Popper and Friedrich von Hayek founded the Mount Pelerin Society in 1947. That was the key think tank of Europe's oligarchs, and it was set up then to recolonize the United States. After college, Soros worked at Bleichroeder and Arnold in New York. That firm was the custodian of funds for old European oligarchs and the Rothschild family. Soros's Quantum Fund also featured Rothschild family funds mixed with those of the Queen, other royals, and Europe's oligarchs. From as early as 1984, Soros was doing currency speculation for the City of London and cultural subversion of the Soviet Union for MI6 and the CIA. He financed the old networks of the Congress of Cultural Freedom after they were exposed as a CIA front. When the wall fell, he worked with Jeffrey Sachs and others to loot Russia and all the former East Bloc states. The Open Society Foundation was founded here in 1993, 1 year after Soros made millions and was made famous for shorting the British pound. Soros's PR man in Britain was none other than Lord William Rees-Mogg, the spokesman for the Round Table Group and the Queen. Through the foundation, Soros and Lord Mark Malloch Brown collaborated in funding and orchestrating color revolutions throughout the world. In the U.S., they funded drug legalization, death with dignity, gay rights, open borders, and social justice movements aimed at subverting the United States. They were fully integrated with the British Foreign Office, the U.S. Department of State, the National Endowment for Democracy, NATO, and all the intelligence agencies. Which brings us to the operations against Donald Trump beginning in 2016. Now, the Trump administration declassified stuff from John Durham's investigation, which showed that George Soros' Eurasia Center had been hacked by the Russians. Those hacked Eurasia Center emails show that the Clinton campaign and the Obama White House planned to fabricate Russiagate to deflect from Hillary Clinton's classified server crimes and win her the election against Donald Trump. Their plan was being worked on the inside by Julianne Smith at the Democratic Party's NATO think tank, the Center for New American Security, and Soros's Eurasia Center, along with the Obama White House. At the very same time, British intelligence was spying on the Trump campaign, running bump operations against them to frame them up, and MI6's Christopher Steele was writing his dirty, fabricated dossier about Trump. The Eurasia reference is really key here. Almost all of Soros's subversion and color revolution activities are part of the British plan to conquer Eurasia. Putin's Russia is in the way. That's why we're in the war in Ukraine. When Trump announced for president, they already knew he would be in the way also, not just in terms of Russia, but also because he was absolutely determined to revive the United States. Now, you can see we've done a whole lot of work on Soros. If you become a paid subscriber to our newsletter now, you'll get these and all show notes, plus more pieces about the British operations against the Trump presidency. The link to subscribe is in the description. Now, the ADL has always been an intelligence operation. There's a reason why the FBI just cut its long relationship with the ADL. Kash Patel said it was because James Comey used them to falsely accuse American patriots of being terrorists. But the story is much, much bigger than that. When Republicans in Congress first began questioning Soros' use of his tax exemption for political warfare against the United States, he threatened them directly himself. But after that, any criticism of Soros was met with charges of anti-Semitism by the ADL. This is not surprising, given the ADL's history as a spy operation for U.S., British, and Israeli intelligence. Spies protect their own. The ADL was created as the public relations arm of B'nai B'rith in 1906, after New York's police commissioner had begun an investigation of Jewish organized crime. B'nai B'rith itself was a sanctioned division of British intelligence, Scottish Rite Freemasonry. Over the years, the ADL has functioned as an informant and intelligence operation for both the FBI and CIA. The CIA's James Jesus Angleton worked closely with the ADL, Freedom House, and similar British-based operations to police the American labor movement, the civil rights movement, and the Jewish population. The ADL's longtime fact-finding director, Erwin Sewell, was an active member of London's Socialist International. His work with the FBI and CIA, including working as a spy in J. Edgar Hoover's notorious COINTELPRO operations against political dissidents, including Martin Luther King. In 1990, ADL got caught in a massive spy scandal. It was revealed that the organization was spying on over 1,000 U.S. political organizations and handing its files over to Israel and the apartheid government of South Africa. More recently, the ADL was the major censor in the Obama and Biden administration's mass censorship program. James Comey's FBI made the ADL its primary investigator against the Trump movement and similar patriotic Americans, labeling them as right-wing terrorists. So here's the truth after all the current noise on social media. London got desperate and called Trump an anti-Semite because that whole con operation is about to be exposed. That's if the receipts I just produced are taken into account. The whole Jewish conspiracy claim is the con job. It's a religious war cover for something much, much deeper and darker and evil. And if we focus on that story, we can bring the modern British financial empire to an end and save our republic. But we need to get this story out over and over again and more in depth to educate people.